Ah, my friend, sit close, sit close. Tonight I will tell you a story of beauty, desire, and the lessons that even the strongest hearts must learn. This is a tale of Nyiramwiza, a woman whose name would be whispered across hills and valleys, from the crowded streets of Kigali to the quiet villages of the East. Now listen carefully, for this is a story of fire, pride, and wisdom, and the consequences that come when desire is left unchecked. You will see the men who stumbled, the woman who walked with confidence, and the lessons whispered by the ancestors themselves. You see, in those days, the city was alive with dreams. Cars rushed along roads that glimmered under the sun, and the market was a river of voices, smells, and colors. Young men hurried with briefcases, old men haggled over bananas, and children played in the dust, laughing without a care. But amidst this ordinary world walked a woman whose beauty could make even the most disciplined man stumble. Her name was Nyiramwiza. Not a single person could meet her eyes without feeling a strange pull in their hearts. They said she carried the confidence of the hills, the mystery of the rivers, and hips that spoke louder than words. My friend, this was no ordinary beauty. It was a test, a fire set by the ancestors to see who could walk through the world without being consumed by desire. Nyiramwiza did not ask for this power, she simply was. On the first day she walked into the city's largest cafe. Men paused mid-sip, mid-laugh, mid-thought. Even the elders, who had seen life's many storms, found their hearts beating faster, their minds distracted. And she walked as if the earth had no gravity, as if she belonged to no one and to everyone at once. But beauty, my friend, is a double-edged sword. Many sought to possess it, many to admire it, and many, oh yes, many, to challenge it. And just as the rains fall on the hills, so too did trouble follow Nyiramwiza wherever she went. Men who forgot their families, husbands who neglected their wives, friends who betrayed one another, all were caught in the invisible web of her presence. Yet Nyiramwiza was not cruel. No, she was human, as we all are. She laughed, she danced, she dreamed. But slowly, my friend, pride began to take root in her heart. She began to believe that nothing in this world could touch her, that no man could resist, that her beauty was eternal and her power absolute. Ah, you see, the danger lies not only in desire, but also in pride. And so the city of dust and dreams began to change. The markets grew quieter, as men lingered too long where Nyiramwiza walked. Families began to whisper, "Be careful, for the woman who walks with the confidence of the hills carries the fire of the ancestors." And indeed, she did. But even in those early days, a few watched carefully, my friend. A young boy, humble and clever, noticed something that others did not. He saw beyond her beauty into the heart that even she had yet to understand. And in this, the story of Nyiramwiza truly began. The story of desire, pride, and the lessons of the ancestors. Now listen carefully, my friend. In every village, in every city, there are those who walk with hearts both strong and weak. And when Nyiramwiza entered their lives, even the strongest began to stumble. There was a man, a businessman from Kigali, tall and serious, known for his sharp mind and careful ways. He believed he was above distractions, that no beauty could shake his focus. But the day Nyiramwiza smiled at him across the busy street, his papers fell to the ground, and his thoughts became a tangled forest. My friend, he spent the whole week thinking only of her, missing meetings, forgetting promises. And even when he realized what had happened, shame and longing danced together in his chest. Then there was a pastor, a man of faith, who guided his congregation with wisdom and care. He prayed daily, telling himself he could resist temptation. Yet, when Nyiramwiza entered the chapel to ask directions, he felt a strange heat rise in his chest. His sermons wavered, his heart betrayed him. He could not understand how a single human being could awaken such desires within the soul. And so, he too became part of the silent, invisible web she wove. Ah, and let me not forget the poet, a young man who wrote words that could make women cry and men reflect. He had always believed that love was pure, that beauty was only skin deep. But Nyiramwiza, oh Nyiramwiza, she became the muse he never wanted, the story he could not finish. His pen trembled when he tried to write, his rhymes lost their rhythm. Friends laughed at him, but he knew the truth. He had been caught, not by violence or anger, but by desire, so powerful it blinded his reason. And last, there was the politician, ambitious and cunning, who thought that power could satisfy every craving. But in Nyiramwiza's presence, his ambition faltered. He made mistakes, missed opportunities, and forgot the people who had trusted him. My friend, this is the danger of beauty unchecked. It humbles kings, confuses leaders, and awakens the fool in every man. You see, these men, each so different, shared one weakness. They could not see beyond the surface. They followed the pull of Nyiramwiza's charm, forgetting their families, their duties, and even themselves. And though they tried to resist, each encounter drew them deeper into the spell of desire. But Nyiramwiza, remember, she was not evil. She laughed, she danced, she lived her life. Yet she did not understand that her beauty, her confidence, and her pride were like rivers, calm and beautiful, but capable of sweeping away those who approached without care, and soon, the consequences of desire would touch not just the men, but her own heart as well. And here, my friend, is where the lesson begins. Beauty and desire can be gifts, yes, but they are also tests. A wise heart must see, a strong heart must resist, and the foolish heart will fall. Even Nyiramwiza, for all her charm, would learn that lesson in a way she could not yet imagine. Ah, my friend, you have seen how men stumbled, how desire clouded their judgment, how hearts grew heavy with longing. But the story does not end there. No, even the brightest flame can burn the one who holds it, and Nyiramwiza was about to learn this truth. In the days that followed, Nyiramwiza walked the streets of Kigali with even greater confidence. Her beauty was celebrated in whispers and sighs, her presence a spectacle. Men watched, women admired, and the city itself seemed to bow to her charm. Yet something changed in her heart. A seed of pride took root, growing taller each day, fed by admiration and envy alike. She began to believe she was untouchable, that her smile could sway kingdoms and her walk could bend the will of men. My friend, this is the danger of vanity. It tells us we are above the laws of the world, above mistakes, above the wisdom of those who came before. And soon Nyiramwiza would see that the world does not bend so easily. The businessman, whose mind had been lost for days, began to withdraw. He realized the folly of chasing desire without thought. The pastor, embarrassed by his own weakness, could not face his congregation with the same authority the poet, whose pen trembled, wrote of longing and pride, but could not capture the truth in words. And the politician, the politician's mistakes had begun to cost him dearly. Nyiramwiza watched all this unfold, believing perhaps that she was in control. And yet, the elders, those who had seen the cycles of pride and humility, began to whisper to one another, "The woman with golden hips walks with fire in her steps. She does not yet see that beauty is a mirror. It reflects not only admiration, but also emptiness, and sometimes it shows the truth no one wishes to face." One afternoon, as the sun poured its golden light over the rooftops of Kigali, Nyiramwiza passed a mirror in a boutique. She paused, expecting to see only perfection, but in her reflection she saw something unfamiliar, a hint of arrogance, a shadow of loneliness. The woman who had drawn men from all walks of life now felt the first whisper of isolation. My friend, this is the price of vanity. Even when the world praises you, the heart knows its own emptiness. And so, in the city of dust and dreams, Nyiramwiza began to understand that beauty, when wielded without wisdom, can become a cage. That pride, when unchecked, can blind the brightest hearts. And that desire, whether in a man or a woman, is a fire. One must learn to carry it carefully, lest it consume everything in its path. But even then, hope remained, for in every shadow there is light. And somewhere in the quiet corners of Kigali, a young boy watched Nyiramwiza not with longing, but with understanding. He saw beyond her beauty, beyond the golden hips, beyond the pride. And in that seeing, he held the key to the lesson she had yet to learn. In every tale, there comes a moment when someone sees the truth others cannot. And in our story, that someone was a boy, not a prince, not a scholar, not a man of wealth, but a boy of quiet observation, with eyes sharp and heart steady. His name was Kamanzi. He lived in the hills near Kigali, where the city's dust met the green valleys. Unlike others, he did not notice Nyiramwiza for her golden hips or the sway of her confidence. No, he noticed the shadow behind her laughter, the loneliness behind her smile, the pride that weighed heavier than any crown. And from the moment he saw her, he understood that beauty alone does not teach. It only tempts. Kamanzi had a gift, the gift of seeing the heart of a person beyond appearances. And so he began to follow quietly, learning the rhythm of her life, observing the men who stumbled at her feet, and the woman who carried the fire of admiration like a torch she could not yet tame. One afternoon, when Nyiramwiza passed by the open market, laughing as men watched and women whispered, Kamanzi approached her. He did not bow, he did not compliment, he did not stare, he merely spoke with calm clarity. Nyiramwiza, he said softly, do you know the power you hold over men? Do you know the burden that beauty carries? She laughed lightly, thinking this boy was naive. And what would you know of it, little one? She asked. You have no strength, no influence, no charm. But Kamanzi shook his head. No, I have none of these things, but I see what many refuse to see, that your beauty is a gift and a test, and the hearts it touches. Some will fall, some will break, and some may never recover. Nyiramwiza paused. For the first time, a mirror beyond mirrors appeared before her, not one that showed her reflection, but one that revealed her effect on others. Her laughter faltered, her pride trembled, and in that quiet moment she felt the weight of the fire she carried. And what am I to do? She asked, almost whispering. I am who I am. I cannot change what I was born with. Kamanzi looked her in the eyes, not with longing, not with fear, but with understanding. You can change how you walk through the world, he said. You can choose humility. You can choose wisdom. You can choose to see not just what you are, but what you make others become. Ah, my friend, it was the first time Nyiramwiza truly listened. She began to understand that beauty is not merely skin deep, that desire is not a game, and that pride can blind even the cleverest of hearts. She saw the men she had drawn into temptation, the businessman, the pastor, the poet, the politician, and realized that she had been a mirror of their weaknesses. And now the question remained, would she continue walking blindly, or would she learn? The boy's words settled like rain on dry soil. Slowly, Nyiramwiza began to reflect, to notice her actions, to feel the consequences of her charm. And in the city of dust and dreams, a new chapter began, one of humility, understanding, and wisdom, one that would change not only her life, but the hearts of those she had touched. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment.